with less burning, itching, and pain from moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, had been taken over by Venezuelan years of being ICE's next target. Across social media and sites like TikTok, several would react to the news of black people being held for hours by ICE agents.
Y'all know what's next, right? There's going to be white American citizens who are asking black American citizens for their papers, for their proof of citizenship. I wish I was being hyperbolic. I wish I was joking, but this is exactly where we're going. We're going to a place where a white boy feels he has permission, not feels he has permission, will actually have permission from the federal government to ask you for your papers. I keep saying that immigrant issues are black people's issue, and y'all keep pushing back, but I don't think y'all are hearing me or understand what I'm saying. I'm saying is they're going to use ICE to eventually harass us the way that they're harassing immigrant communities, not only ICE, but every federal agent, right? And we got to a point where you don't even have to be like a trained federal agent. They're literally just giving any white boy who wants to harass immigrants a job. But they're going to take it a step further, and they're going to give people permission to ask for other people's proof of residency.
Now, surprisingly, despite the concerns that some felt about ICE targeting blacks in Chicago, some black Chicago residents are pushing back on these rumors, even thanking Trump and ICE's actions to clean up their neighborhood.
At this point, y'all have really pissed me off, especially you so-called influencers who are taking parts of stories coming out of Chicago and using it for fucking clickbait and engagement. Now, I have been urging my people here to pause so that they can process things. Y'all talking about them coming down on that building out south. Whole time, that building used to be predominantly black. That building was predominantly Venezuelans, okay? There are people from that neighborhood that have been complaining about that building for a year, okay? They showed y'all broken windows and shit that were already there. These are the things that y'all have to stop doing. And this is why I keep telling people here in the city, particularly black people, pause so you can process. If y'all start responding to shit out of emotion, then you don't know what the fucking play is, because you haven't had time to actually think. What people are doing are trying to get a rise out of black Chicagoans, okay? That was one incident. Then you had the guy out west that had the accident, and they pulled him out, and one of the agents was choking him, and people were recording it, okay? So, again, follow-ups to all of these things, never. Nobody ever comes back with the follow-up. They talking about, oh, they're arresting black people in Chicago. All of the black people that they took from that building on the south side were released. The 37 people that they detained were all Venezuelans who were part of a particular gang. Y'all gotta stop doing that shit.
Chicago, you need to stop lying and saying, and people on this internet need to stop lying and saying that they're coming for black people. Yes, there was a building in a black community that was not majority black because it had been overran by illegal gang bangers. Let's be clear. So why everybody want to keep throwing that narrative around, half the South Shore is fucking invaded by illegals. That's the truth. So don't get on here saying black people are being came for. They're coming because they're in our neighborhoods and our communities. That's why. So yes, they're going to go in buildings where black people live and sleep because they put them in buildings where black people live and sleep. South Shore, born and raised. I know what I'm talking about. Stop pushing that narrative because it's not correct.
Now, this same user would then visit the South Shore apartment that was raided, where she would even confirm with a resident that the building had been taken over by Venezuelan immigrants.
Yeah, they been busting windows out. Okay, because see, that's again a narrative that they done put on social media is that the ice came and busted out y'all windows.
That's a lie.
So them windows over there right there,
they didn't bust out no window. Ice didn't bust out some windows.
These was already busted on that floor up there. Same way you saying over here. This is the building that everyone is in an uproar about. So as I said, South Shore, This is your community, your neighborhood, and this building was not majority black when the ICE came the other day. Yes, black people were affected, but this building was overran by illegal Venezuelan gangs. And I just had several conversations with residents who are moving their stuff out of here that confirmed that. So stop letting media put that false narrative in your head that somebody coming for you, because they not. You was born here. You was born on this land. Rise up and stand up on something and stop letting any and everybody tell you something.
This conversation has caused many to question what rights do they have when encountering ICE, and do ICE agents need a warrant to arrest you? According to ICE.gov, agents can arrest you if they have suspicion. It goes on to read, ICE does not need judicial warrants to make arrests. Like all other law enforcement officers, can initiate consensual encounters and speak with people. Briefly detain aliens when they have reasonable suspicion that the aliens are illegally present in the United States, and arrest people they believe are illegal aliens. ICE officers and agents can also detain and search people crossing the border. All aliens who violate U.S. immigration law are subject to arrest and detention, regardless of their criminal histories. Those with final orders of removal are removed from the United States. Now, according to NPR, the only time a warrant is needed by ICE is for arrests at homes or private businesses. In regards to the latest surrounding Chicago, protests have also begun in part of the city from those opposed to ICE's presence in Chicago. And this appears to now being used as a reason to send in the National Guard by the Trump administration. In a statement given to ABC7, a White House spokesperson would confirm Trump's move to follow through with sending in the National Guard. Amidst ongoing violent riots and lawlessness, the local leaders like Illinois Governor Fitzer have refused to step in to quell. President Trump has authorized 300 National Guardsmen to protect federal officers and assets. President Trump will not turn a blind eye to lawlessness plaguing American cities. So let's talk about it more in the comments below. What do you take from this latest response by President Trump to send in the National Guard to Chicago? And do you agree with these black Chicago residents that maybe this was a good thing to happen in their neighborhoods? Stay up to date for the latest news in comedy, culture, and sports by subscribing here to our YouTube channel. And if you enjoy content like this, check out hypersclub.com to get a membership to watch full interviews and more original content. And if you have a story you think we should cover, send us a message now at hyperalerts.com. Reporting live from Hypers Club in Atlanta for Hype Plus News, I'm John Abba.
So let me get this straight. So we got birthright citizenship on the craps table. We got due process on the craps table, while you are deporting people to countries that they have never been to, which would then open up a deportation of somebody who never left. Do I have that right? This really should have been a troubled waters. Yeah. Nah, racist of the week. Shout out to all of the subscribers and members here on the channel. Don't forget to like the video. I am Reese Waters, and this is Racism.
So ICE did a raid at the South Shore neighborhood, and a lot of people are shocked about this particular raid because this is a community where a lot of black people are at. Now, ICE claimed they was going to do a raid because of the Venezuelan gang, Trinidad Agua. They said they had members out there. But I want you to watch and listen to what the people said, how they were acting.
It's some citizens that stay in that building too. It's citizens, regular citizens that stay in that building. Why y'all just raiding everybody's house? Yeah, I said, why y'all just didn't go to their house? Why y'all raiding everybody's house? That's violation of the citizens' rights that it actually live there.
I don't know nothing about the right.
You thought I was giving intel? I'm giving you intel. Intel into the right wall. It's citizens' rights, right? As a U.S. citizen, we have rights, right? And y'all just raiding their houses trying to get to the immigrants. That's not right. That's not fair. Y'all disturbing the peace in them. It's 1 in the morning. It's kids that stay in that building. Y'all flashbanging. Y'all not being considerate. When they trying to get somebody, she thought I was giving some intel. I got some intel for you, Bookie, but what you're doing is illegal. If it wasn't like that, why y'all not showing y'all faces? Man, and he just had a newborn in there. That little boy only 12 years old. They got the babies outside. That little boy only 12 years old. They got the babies outside. Get your ass out my view. Y'all immigrants too. I don't see nobody trying to take y'all back to Europe.
It's overnight, and she says they took everyone and then asked questions later.
They just treated us like we were nothing.
Patricia Fisher says she came out to the hallway of her apartment complex on the corner of 75th and South Shore Drive in her nightgown around 10 Monday night, only to find ICE agents yelling police.
It was scary because I've never had a gun put in my face. They asked my name and my date of birth and asked me did I have any warrants, and I told them no, I didn't.
She says she was then handcuffed and released around 3 a.m. Fisher says she was told if anyone had any kind of warrant out for them, even if it was unrelated to immigration, they would not be released. Cincinnati video shows the chaotic scene overnight as budget trucks and military-style vans were used to separate parents from their children. Other neighbors say they saw agents destroying property to get in the building.
And they had a big 15-inch chainsaw with a round blade on it, cutting this fence down. We're under siege. We're being invaded by our own military.
The FBI did confirm this morning that they did help the U.S. Border Patrol carry out a targeted immigration enforcement operation in this area, and they say they have been supporting these efforts at the direction of the U.S. Attorney General.
All right, so the people in Chicago say they're feeling under siege with all this situation that's going on with ICE. Now, I'm seeing the tactics. I'm seeing how they're moving. They're being very aggressive, and it's like I see it coming. What's going to end up happening, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm completely wrong on what I'm about to say. What's going to end up possibly happening, one of these aggressive ICE agents or one of the federal agents is going to harm somebody and take their life. And it's going to be a bad situation, and who they do, it may be a child, it can be somebody, right? And that they're going to do it at the right time. And that is what's going to spark off people. Because let me tell you the environment that they're doing this in. A lot of layoffs are happening to people. Mass firings are happening to people. People are worried about if I'm going to be homeless, can I afford groceries? And when you start getting people in that kind of position where they are desperate, and when they get to a point, I feel like I have nothing to lose, and they're not even worried about no jail or any of that at that point, right? And for sure they're not worried about no ICE agents or whoever else they're worried about. They're going to have a problem. And I've always said this, and it's the truth. It's a numbers game in America. There's more people than them at the end of the day. It's more people. I heard they're starting to do this mess in New York. New York is, I think, the wrong city to really be pushing people, because New Yorkers on a good day be down with it, the business. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to put people in that kind of position, because the way people are feeling right now, if something happens, I believe it's going to be worse than George Floyd. And more people are going to be a part of it than just black people. You understand what I'm saying? I'm just saying what I'm seeing happening. You could only push people so far.
What do you guys think about the NFL's decision to name Bad Bunny as the Super Bowl halftime performer, somebody who has not scheduled shows in the U.S. because he says that he's worried that ICE is going to come and arrest his fans?
Yeah, we'll be all over that place. And I can't. We're going to enforce the law. So I think people should not be coming to the Super Bowl unless they're law-abiding Americans who love this country.
Bad Bunny is being accused of snubbing the United States. He's launching a global tour with stops across Europe and Australia and Japan, but he's skipping the United States because he says he's concerned about ICE raids at his concerts. So now in response, DHS advisor Corey Lewandowski says that ICE will pursue immigration enforcement at the game, warning, quote, "There's nowhere you can provide safe haven to people here illegally. We'll find you and deport you."
He didn't storm out. He didn't rant online. Bad Bunny walked straight into SNL with the calm of a man who already knows he's won. The crowd screamed, the camera zoomed in, and all those headlines calling him too political, too foreign, too controversial, he turned them into his opening joke. "I think everyone's happy about it," he said, that sly grin flickering across his face. Even Fox News. And then, boom. The screens behind him flashed a montage of right-wing anchors, stitched together into one perfect line. "Bad Bunny is my favorite musician, and he should be the next president." The audience exploded. Laughter, shock, disbelief. Benito didn't even blink. That's the power move. Mock your critics so cleanly, they become your punchline. But here's the setup they didn't see coming. For a full week, conservative commentators had been melting down over the NFL's decision to name Bad Bunny as the 2026 Super Bowl halftime performer. The hashtags, the outrage, the talk show tirades. You'd think the league booked a foreign spy instead of a Grammy-winning Puerto Rican who's already sold out stadiums across the U.S. and Latin America. Former Trump advisor Corey Lewandowski even claimed on a podcast that ICE agents would be at the game to make sure everyone's legal. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem doubled down, promising that immigration officers would be all over the Super Bowl. That language, pure political theater. But Benito didn't bite. He let the noise build, and then he flipped it live on national television. And here's what makes that moment ad-friendly and iconic. He never cursed, never insulted anyone directly, never named names. He let humor do the damage. By turning outrage into irony, he...
What's up with the squad? Back with another video. As y'all seen the titles going out. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button for me, please. Y'all already know. Yeah. Y'all seen that video I put out, right? Y'all seen the video. And I'm gonna be real with y'all. I don't know if I even got a lot of hate. I didn't really get to look at the comments like that. I didn't really get to look at the comments. And see, on that video, I typically try to look at y'all comments and see y'all comments and stuff like that as much as possible. I know who Bad Bunny is. I never knew who he was. I never listened to his music, never heard one song. And I used to react to music. I never really, I don't know if he's new or what. I don't know if he's like, just came out, and getting, how people get, they did it, with tons of individuals, when they, get famous and they're out there for a little minute and then you really don't hear much about them. I don't know how long Bad Bunny has been. They said that he's very popular, but again, I don't really know who he is. But Benny Johnson made a post right here. It said, "This is Bad Bunny. He was just announced as the 2026 Super Bowl halftime show. He's a massive Trump hater, anti-ICE activist, and none of his songs are in English. Says he even canceled his entire," and this is the third time I've seen this. So he's even canceled his entire U.S. tour for this reason. Effing ICE could be outside my concert, and it's something that we were talking about and very concerned about. Because the NFL is self-destructing. The NFL is self-destructing year after year. So one thing about it is that I'm hearing a lot of bad things about Bad Bunny. I'm not even gonna lie. things about Bad Bunny. I'm not even gonna lie. Pretty insane. The things that people are saying, the things that are, they're making, others to out to be, because of this Bad Bunny. And again, I gotta let's see a song if I know a song or something. I don't know. I've never heard of why. My thing is why. What is wrong with like I said in my view video? Y'all remember I don't know. I feel like they're making this, especially like last year with the whole Kendrick Lamar thing. I think this is something that I think that was last year, right? I think it's more of they make this about a race issue. Like I said plenty of times, I feel like if people stop making things about race, and I'm speaking, because they have this Bad Bunny at the Kendrick, if they stop doing that stuff, why can't you just have fun? Like where's all the fun? Where's all the exciting? Just amazing. Let me be real, y'all, real quick. I feel like it'd be amazing, and this is my opinion on this. I feel like it'd be amazing. And y'all know I'm not all about race, and I don't like when people need to stop talking about it. I feel like it would have been amazing to have different ethnicities, a different race, for everybody, everybody come together to show people, we all, all American, all together. I feel like that's more of a picture, more of like a middle finger to MAGA or something. I feel like that's one of those things. I feel like it's just one of those like, oh yeah, we about to make them mad with this one. I feel like that's one of the things that, y'all get what I'm saying? Because there's no way people are actually sitting to joy, and you really don't. That's, again, I'm not saying this no type of way, bro. I don't know Spanish, bro. I don't know Spanish, bro. I got like a C, a minus in Spanish, bro. And that was just like the basics. So like rap, and she's a rapper, singer, whatever, bro. How do you expect somebody to just listen and hear what you got to say, bro? Like honestly. Bro, y'all can call me whatever y'all gotta call me about this. I feel like you really, if you speak English and you don't know Spanish, you don't know no other language, and you sitting there and you've been like, oh yeah, this is pretty cool. I really feel like you're in denial, bro, because you don't even really know what an individual is saying. I get the vibes. You got nice beat, you got dancers, this, that, and the other. But I feel like, and y'all know me, I've listened to different type of music, when I did reactions and stuff like that. Yes. But at the same time, it was more of, okay, I like the beat, I like the, because I don't understand Spanish. And again, bro, like, I just don't know. Like, this is wild to me. I've got so many things that I want to say, but I can't say it on this platform. Bad Bunny responded in Spanish to all of the MAGA fans who were furious that he's performing at the Super Bowl. It's just not MAGA fans who are furious about it, though. And I feel like people aren't furious. I feel like a lot of people are just confused on why they did this. Check it out.
Thank you. No, but really, I'm very excited to be doing the Super Bowl, and I know people all around the world who love my music are also happy, especialmente todos los latinos. Todos los latinos y las latinas en el mundo entero.
I'm gonna read some of this for y'all if y'all can't see.
Especialmente todos los latinos also
who move my music are also happy, especially all Latinos. Bro, I'm gonna be 100 with y'all. I feel like this is definitely like got a lot to do with race, bro. Like there's no way.
Todos los latinos y latinas en el mundo entero y aquí en los Estados Unidos, todas las personas que han trabajado para abrir puertas, más que un logro mío, más que un logro mío, es un logro de todos, demostrando que nuestra huella y nuestra aportación,
our footprints and our contribution in this country, no one will ever be able to take that away or erase it. I don't feel like nobody is taking it away or erasing it. I don't feel like it's that. I feel like it's more so of people need to start coming together, bro. Like, this is not something that's ever going to get fixed as long as people are doing shit like this, bro. Like, this does not make sense to me.
And if you didn't understand what I just said, You have 4 months to learn.
People are literally cheering that you have 4 months to learn. Why in the hell would I spend my time and in the hours of my day? And this is no disrespect, bro. I'm saying this because y'all know I'm real. Why the hell would I sit here and I try to learn Spanish for this dude for a Super Bowl halftime show? I'm letting y'all know right now, I'm not even watching it, bro. I'm be 100. I'm not even, and this ain't even about me being mad about it. This shit just ridiculous to me, and I don't even cuss like this. It's just ridiculous. It's making me mad, bro. Like I truly don't see how you have something like this, and y'all okay with it. Like, I feel like it's the principle. I feel like it's the principle about it. I don't feel like, me personally, on how I feel about it, I don't feel like it's the person that's, doing Slovenia, which was then part of Yugoslavia. Melania Trump is naturalized U.S. citizen. So I feel like these are things, and this isn't the only post. You see so many posts. And the crazy thing is, Melania Trump ain't had nothing to do with this, bro. She had nothing to do with this. And they do these things, they bring it up, and say things, when it comes to different individuals. Melania Trump ain't make a post. She ain't made a comment on it. Nothing. They just throw you into it. Says Bad Bunny speaks better English than Melania Trump, and he was born American. And I thought she was asking who we are, Navy. Who we are, Navy. Like it's literally things like this. They making things about, when it comes down to race. It's ridiculous. It's honestly ridiculous when it comes down to it, bro. Things ain't gonna get better as long as they're doing stuff like this. That's all I gotta say. It's truly sad. Check it out.
If you're serious about saving America, you'll boycott the entire Super Bowl, not just the halftime show. Football is the most masculine sport in our country, now being used to feminize a nation of young boys by bringing in Bad Bunny for the halftime show. This guy is a notorious drag performer who embraces transgenderism and promotes it in his shows, even appearing with busty prosthetic breasts. It's time to stop talking about how bad we hate this trend in America and show the NFL that we will not put up with their corruption of our society any longer. Boycott the Super Bowl.
I'm telling y'all. Me personally, I ain't gonna lie. It says think boycotting just the halftime show with Bad Bunny is enough. Here's why the complete Super Bowl boycott is essential to preserving, masculine, in sports, which I feel, that's another thing. I gotta watch what I say. I'm literally not trying to be mean. It's just true. Like, a lot of this stuff is it's throwing me off, bro. The pictures I've been seeing about this Bad Bunny, the videos and all of it's just throwing me off, y'all. I'm telling y'all. Here's Chrissy Nolan.
And your message to the NFL with this decision? It seems like they were trying to send a message to the Trump administration.
Well, they suck, and we'll win, and God bless us, and we'll stand and be proud of ourselves at the end of the day, and they won't be able to sleep at night because they don't know what they believe, and they're so weak. Well, we'll fix it.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Secretary.
Man, let me tell y'all something. One thing about it, when it all comes down to it, is that people got to realize that this is definitely something, that will not get fixed as long as people continue to talk about it. I feel like this going back and forth, I'm one of those people that, things got to get better, when it comes to everybody. We all ain't perfect, but it's just the way that people are doing things. They've seen destructive things that constantly. There's people constantly inciting violence, causing division, and that's not going to help nothing whatsoever. That's not going to help them, and they know that. They obviously know that.
Tim Black. I want you to listen to what Fox contributor Tony Lahren said on a recent podcast with I'm laughing already. Sorry. With Crystal Ball.
Do you think Bad Bunny is a good choice for the Super Bowl?
It seems fine. I don't know why it's a big deal. Seems like a great American artist, so sure.
He's not an American artist, but
He's Puerto Rican. That's part of America, dear.
yeah, you don't think you have any problem with him saying like the ICE is, well, I'm sure you don't, mother effers and sons of and that he's not going to perform here.
I got to give Tony credit, I mean, for immediately going to the next thing, having completely botched the fact that Puerto Rico is part of the United States. What was your reaction to that?
I mean, my first reaction was she needs to crack a book. And I think it is important that we're talking about this, Jake, because a lot of people don't understand that Puerto Rico is part of the United States.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand that, but it's bad when you are a commentator. Yeah, it's kind of bad when you're a commentator, man. Shout out to Crystal Ball on this one. Crystal Ball was nice. I would have stayed there on that for a minute. I would have stayed right there with Tommy on that shit for a little minute and just let that marinate. Before we go any further, let me let you know the Tim Black Wolfpack is dedicated, committed, 10 toes down to reporting the truth, unbiased, and not working for any political party. If that sounds good to you, go to jointimblack.com, become a member of the Tim Black Wolfpack. You know what I'm saying? But see, the white girl solidarity kicked in. Yeah, Chris let the white girl solidarity kick in because I'd have let her ass have it. But see, I got history with Tommy Lauren. I remember debating her back in 2017. How you gonna be doing content, doing media, be a contributor on a major news network for 6, 7, 8 years? 8 years. And not know a damn thing.
$1 million in the bank. So we have a Super Bowl halftime host for 2026. Bad Bunny gets the call. I think they tried to get Taylor, couldn't get Taylor Swift. So now it's Bad Bunny, one of the biggest recording artists in the world, but not on the radar of a lot of American music consumers, even people who are in the culture space. A lot of them are like, Bad Bunny has no impact on my life. I never hear him. You know what I mean? So it's a difficult choice for a lot of Americans because it's not an American-centric cultural choice the way that it almost always is. So clearly the NFL is thinking about, well, there are Spanish-speaking audiences in other countries that might be interested, that we may be able to
in our country,
our party, right? In our country as well. But I mean, Americans are fully aware of the Super Bowl and the NFL.
The Super Bowl itself has become an incredibly festive environment. It's a celebration. Even non-football fans look forward to the Super Bowl. Pastors evolve their schedules, their scheduled sermons, for crying out loud, around NFL schedule. They don't even be thinking about bothering anybody Super Bowl Sunday. And considering the popularity of the National Football League, that's what the hell a president's going to do. You can't shove all of that aside for a day. You're going to sit up there and threaten to rain on the NFL's parade. You know there's got to be an angle to this. I'm going to say it. I don't know about anybody else. I'm going to say that's BS. Seriously. Super Bowl Sunday, where everybody and their mother is going to be in front of their television sets at sports bars and beyond, certainly at the Super Bowl location, you're going to deploy ICE agents. By the way, it's going to be in California, who's already sued the Trump administration for ICE agents being there, for the National Guard being there, for the U.S. Marines being deployed there, supposedly to protect federal property. You got Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, basically passing laws so ICE agents can be exposed. Now, I'm not somebody here that's looking at people who are doing their jobs. And if you're an ICE agent, you have a job to do. And if you've been given instructions to locate illegal migrants entering this country and stuff like that, I understand. I don't want any harm to come to any ICE agents or anything like that. But I don't have a problem with you not being able to mask yourself, with you being seen. If law enforcement officers, if police officers, if FBI agents and others have to identify themselves when they're engaging in law enforcement, why the hell should you be any different than an ICE agent? Again, I'm not advocating any harm or any negativity to come in the way of an ICE agent. They're just doing their job. They're just following orders. But I do believe that Gavin Newsom is right when he says you shouldn't be allowed to mask yourself and walk around with the ability to not identify yourself while arresting people and taking them into custody. No, you got a right to know who the hell is taking you. I definitely agree with that. But having said all of that, this ain't about the Department of Homeland Security. This ain't about ICE. If this happens, this is about Donald Trump. This is about Donald Trump. Now, I told you I'm going to be fair. I'm going to be fair. But I'm telling you, this sucks. And this harkens me back to what I said to y'all on many, many freaking occasions in the past. I get sick and tired of the president walking around.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's just Charles Sebastian, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show. We cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment. And when we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them, and folks, I'm just so happy to talk about this. I'm just so happy. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, some of y'all know why I'm so happy about this. We produced a show about a week ago reacting to some comments that Roland Martin had to make about Stephen A. Smith, which we'll get to momentarily. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of this. Folks, we are in the new world now. And in this new world, we're in the world now where sports commentary and political commentary are beginning to intersect. All right? You see some political guys, some sports commentators talking politics here and there. Some do it a lot, some do it very little. And then you have some guys, obviously, in politics that talk sports all the time. So what happened? We did a show about this. About 2 or 3 days ago, we produced the show. Of the news coming out about Bad Bunny. I don't know why I keep calling him Bad Bunny. I'm thinking of Bad Bunny from Making a Band. Bad Bunny. Being picked to host or perform at the Super Bowl halftime show. And at the time, I said a few things that I'm going to reiterate quickly. The first thing I said was this was absolutely a political decision by Rock Nation, Jay-Z, and the NFL. They want to make some kind of political statement, given the fact that Bad Bunny has made it clear that he canceled all of his tour dates in the United States because he doesn't support the ICE deportations and probably how they're going about it. He himself is Puerto Rican, and I think one of the reasons that he gave was he didn't want to have concerts in the United States where Hispanics would come out and support him, and then people would be getting deported left and right and center, right? Because the people I'm sure that are supporting him in large masses are Hispanics because he's speaking in Spanish, so they understand it much better. But that doesn't mean that you have to speak a language to enjoy the music. So like you don't need to. Afro beats, for example, most people don't understand what they're saying, but they dance to it. But anyway, so that was his reasoning. People on the right got pissed off. How could you pick this guy? How could you pick that guy? How he's this, he's that, he's this, he's that, he's not this. Why don't we go with this one? We go with that guy. And I said at the time, the NFL seems to be a little bit confused. Because initially when the Colin Kaepernick thing came out, they basically said, nah, bro, we're not with none of this. Then Charlie Kirk's passing occurred. And then you had some teams recognizing Charlie Kirk. I'm like, well, this is a political voice. What's going on? I thought so you had that. So then this one comes out now, which then is going to piss off people that are more conservative that don't want Bad Bunny to perform. So you got that going on. Stephen A. Smith went on Good Morning America, and he talked about how he supported the decision. Fantastic. But then after that, we heard that the administration had decided or has decided, and at first I thought they were trolling, but as a matter of fact, it's true, that they're going to be sending ICE agents to the arena, okay, I guess to deport people after the show or whatever the case may be. And I'm like, okay, this is excessive. Why are we sending ICE agents to a sporting event? But they must believe a lot of illegal immigrants are going to be there, so therefore let's send them out. Great. So then what happens? I come across a show just before I was done shooting of Stephen A. Smith from his show. And the title of the show is Stephen A. on ICE agents at Super Bowl. Trifling. This show came out 17 hours ago. I'm sure by the time you guys see it, it'll be a day or so. And Stephen A. Smith is absolutely laying into Donald Trump and the ICE raids and all the ICE agents that are going to be sent there. For those of y'all who didn't hear what Stephen A. Smith said, I want you guys to sit down, get a box of popcorn or whatever, go get you a sandwich, and listen to everything Smith said here. Take a listen.
The Super Bowl itself has become an incredibly festive environment. It's a celebration. Even non-football fans look forward to the Super Bowl. Pastors evolve their schedules, their scheduled sermons, for crying out loud, around NFL schedule. They don't even be thinking about bothering anybody Super Bowl Sunday. And considering the popularity of the National Football League, that's what the hell the president's going to do. You can't shove all of that aside for a day. You're going to sit up there and threaten to rain on the NFL's parade. You know there's got to be an angle to this. You know there's got to be an angle to this. I'm going to say it. I don't know about anybody else. I'm going to say this BS. Seriously. Super Bowl Sunday, where everybody and their mother is going to be in front of their television sets at sports bars and beyond. Certainly at the Super Bowl location, you're going to deploy ICE agents. By the way, it's going to be in California, who's already sued the Trump administration for ICE agents being there, for the National Guard being there, for the U.S. Marines being deployed there, supposedly to protect federal property. You got Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, basically passing laws so ICE agents can be exposed. Now, I'm not somebody here that's looking at people who are doing their jobs. And if you're an ICE agent, you have a job to do. And if you've been given instructions to locate illegal migrants entering this country and stuff like that, I understand. I don't want any harm to come to any ICE agents or anything like that. But I don't have a problem with you not being able to mask yourself, with you being seen. If law enforcement officers, if police officers, if FBI agents and others have to identify themselves when they're engaging in law enforcement, why the hell should you be any different than an ICE agent? Again, I'm not advocating any harm or any negativity to come in the way of an ICE agent. They're just doing their job. They're just following orders. But I do believe that Gavin Newsom is right when he says you shouldn't be allowed to mask yourself and walk around with the ability to not identify yourself while arresting people and taking them into custody. No, you got a right to know who the hell is taking you. I definitely agree with that. But having said all of that, this ain't about the Department of Homeland Security. This ain't about ICE. If this happens, this is about Donald Trump. This is about Donald Trump. Now, I told you I'm going to be fair. I'm going to be fair. But I'm telling you, this sucks. And this harkens me back to what I said to y'all on many, many freaking occasions in the past. I get sick and tired of the president walking around like when it comes to the National Football League, there are not ulterior motives. I'm going to remind everybody of what I've said on many occasions on national television. In 2014, Donald Trump, before he ran for the president, called yours truly. He called me. Because Donald Trump wanted to acquire ownership of the Buffalo Bills, who was on the market, and the price tag was about $1.4 billion. At that time, according to my sources in the National Football League, Donald Trump had $1.1 billion. He was about $300 million short. He wanted ownership of the team. And he said to yours truly, Stephen A. Smith, talking about NFL owners, its board of governors essentially, if those MFers get in my way and prevent me from acquiring ownership of this team, I'm going to get them all back. I'm going to run for president. And sure enough, more than a year later, it's exactly what he did, coming down those escalators. And ever since then, he's been hell on wheels ever since. Colin Kaepernick's situation comes up, fine. He's going to politicize it, hijacks the narrative, and turns it into an issue about patriotism. Owners locking arms and taking a knee. When he talked about firing all of their asses, then the NFL league owners being offended by it. Even Jerry Jones took a knee on the football field. Donald Trump still kept coming. You know, people have their thoughts about the Epstein files. That's what they keep bringing up, Donald Trump and the Epstein files. You know, you got MAGA right that wants those files revealed. You got folks on the Democratic side siding with some of these folks on the right wanting to know more about the Epstein files. You got court orders coming down involving the stuff, whatever. I'm starting to notice that let's make noise. If you're the administration, ever since the Epstein file became a big deal, let's make noise about every damn thing. Is it an evasive tactic? Is it a distractionary measure? I don't know. I don't like talking about it. I ain't about to talk about it. But I don't appreciate reading this story about how the Super Bowl may basically be infiltrated. How the hell are we supposed to, how is America supposed to enjoy the Super Bowl? That's the #1 event in this country. How the hell is America supposed to enjoy the Super Bowl? And we got reports that's going down the pike that's not going to dissipate, by the way. It's only going to build that the greatest event in American sports right now is threatening to be contaminated by the Department of Homeland Security, who's going to deploy ICE agents. So anybody that is an American, look like one, may not have a name that sounds like one, because it's all going to be subjective according to ICE agents, right? You're going to go to the Super Bowl in the state of California, no less, a sanctuary state. And you're going to plan on deploying ICE agents to the Super Bowl to essentially arrest migrants for the purposes of deportation on Super Bowl Sunday, if not Super Bowl week. This is low. This is freaking low. It's un-American. I'll say it, it's un-American. There's a time and a place for everything. When Donald Trump is right, I'll say so. When Donald Trump is excoriated for no good reason, I'll say so. But when he's wrong, I'm going to say that too. And there's millions upon millions. The number I counted yesterday on my political show, over 46 million citizens in this country, migrants in this country, most of whom are here legally. And this is the #1 sporting event in our country. And Donald Trump and the Department of Homeland Security is now threatening to smear it all by contemplating, if not flat out planning, to deploy ICE agents to the Super Bowl. If there was ever a time that collectively as American citizens we stand up and say, oh, hell to the no, this is one of them.
Excellent. Sir, so you heard what Stephen A. Smith had to say. He's against what these guys are doing. This is wrong. Blah, 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 blah. Fantastic. Little did he know that his viewers were going to absolutely destroy him for taking that particular position, which gets into a larger point that I've been trying to make over the last few months, which is Stephen A. Smith is a bloody grifter and should not be taken seriously when it comes to talking politics. And the person that crystallized my emotion, my sentiments rather, about Stephen A. Smith was one Roland Martin last week, reacting to a conversation that Bill Maher and Stephen A. Smith had about him potentially running as a Democratic nominee. Take a listen to what Roland Martin had to say just about a week or so ago about Stephen A. Smith. Take a listen to that there.
So let's just deal here. This is why that's a stupid ass conversation. I've said this. I've said to him, Stephen A. Smith ain't grossly qualified to not be president, to run for president, to think about president at all. Bill Maher, same. Okay? Being an entertainer ain't the same as being president. Now, let's be real clear. Some of y'all might be saying, well, that America did vote for Trump. Let's be real clear. Trump is a white man with a lot of money, and what did he do? The Republican Party, he played to the issue of race. That's what he did. And see, this is where all these people are. All this, oh my God, we need an outsider. First of all, define an outsider. Define an outsider. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Democratic voters are smarter than Republican voters. Republican voters fell for the okie doke. They fell for the broke-ass white people with no health care, no teeth, no education, got behind a rich dude who would not even let them walk through his hotel lobby. Are we clear? You can't be a loud, uneducated person who's an outsider and you actually think Democrats are going to pay you any attention. That ain't going to happen, all right? And so I love these people like Bill Maher, who sit here and go, oh, we need right now, we need an outsider who can actually run. Let's see here. Who was elected twice? Senator Barack Obama. Who was the Democrat before him? Governor Bill Clinton. Two-term president. Let's see. The Democrat before him. Who was that? Oh, that was Governor Jimmy Carter. Who was the Democrat before him? Oh, that was U.S. Senator Lyndon Baines Johnson, who actually was vice president, who became president, and then was elected to his own 4-year term. Who was before that? Oh, I'm sorry, that was Harry Truman, who followed FDR after FDR was there for 4 terms. What was FDR? Governor, New York. Do y'all see where I'm going? Do y'all see why these are stupid conversations? See, this is what Trump has done. Trump has dumbed down America so much that we literally will have conversations about grossly unqualified people because they happen to entertain us. Oh, Schwarzenegger should run. Oprah should run. Oh, George Clooney should run. That's what we've actually become, okay? So what we've done is we've stopped actually thinking smart is sexy.
Fantastic. So you heard what Roland Martin had to say. Let's get into what some of the reaction was from his channel, okay? Because I thought it was beautiful. 177 comments thus far. Let's continue on. One guy said, "Missed the days when politics wouldn't interfere with sports." Yeah, those days are long gone. Another guy says, "Fake outrage. This dude is always on the fence." Another guy says, "Oh my God, now they're turning the Super Bowl into a political issue. I'm boycotting the Super Bowl." Another guy said, "Stephen A., you're wrong on this one. Some things are bigger than sports." Another guy says, "Stephen A., like the rest, won't complain about Trump unpopular policies until it affects them directly." Another guy said, "Not trifling, great idea." Another guy said, "Fake outrage." Another guy said, "I voted for this." One more viewer said, "Stephen A., you're wrong for this one." Another person says, "They should be here, period, Steve." And one other person said, I'm all for it. It's exactly what I voted for. Let me tell you what's going on in Stephen A. Smith's comment section. Stephen A. Smith has been grifting, skateboarding to the right side of the aisle for the last 9 months. So what has happened is he has built a conservative audience because of his excessive grifting. So now when he comes out and takes a position like this, they're calling him out. Now here's the kicker. What Stephen A. Smith said in this sound, I believe this is how he generally feels about a lot of issues. I think the guy is a Democrat or a leftist or a liberal, however you want to describe him, masquerading as a conservative. Because he understood that is the direction that the wind is blowing. And given the fact that's the direction the wind is blowing, I'm going to set my sails to go in that direction. But sometimes something wrong happens, which is the guys that are going in that direction, they already know the road. You don't. So sometimes he takes a few wrong turns. And after he takes a wrong turn here, he takes a wrong turn there.
How y'all doing this morning?
He has to now
Yeah, what's going on? Yeah. Four months away, it started. I understand. But look how they coming with everything. Now, hold on a second.
Yo, I just heard, because I was at the gym yesterday, and the dude at the desk, he's always asking me, like, hey, where are you going to be? Because I had shot my because one of the girls, remember Julie? Yeah. The real pretty, little cute girl? She was working on it. She works at the Equinox. At the desk. Right, so she worked on my job. What? You got a job. A job, right. At the so there's another dude that works with her, and he's like, yo, when are you going to be? I'm at the cell. He never shows up. But then he goes, I was at the Theo, but you were at Theo Von shit. You know what I mean? Which is fine. And he goes, I was at the Theo Von Netflix taping at the Beacon. That's 2,300, right? 2,500?
Yeah. It's the Beacon? Yeah,
the Beacon's like 2,300, 2,500. I think it's 20.
Super Bowl halftime, Bad Bunny. I don't know what a Bad Bunny is. Let's find out together. All right, guys, I'm trying not to laugh too hard. I mean, because this is news, right? the NFL, the National Football League, has officially announced that Bad Bunny will be the halftime performer for, what is that, Super Bowl 60 or something like that? Yeah, he's headlining the halftime show. And I know when I think of American football and hot wings and tackling dudes in the dirt, I definitely think of a Puerto Rican rapper in a neon trench coat named after a... I mean, forget the wardrobe malfunctions and halftime. This guy, why are people surprised about this Bad Bunny character doing the halftime show at the upcoming Super Bowl? The NFL's been self-destructing for years. Why would they stop now? That's a great take from my good friend Damani Felder. I don't know what. Well, I mean, there's all the LGBT rainbow. You gotta gay it up, right? I mean, it's the NFL. The gladiators are ripping each other's heads off, but we got to make sure we have a little bit of gay at the halftime. And speaking of gay, our friend Rob Smith. Here's what he had to say about Bad Bunny. Play the clip.
United States that is enforcing our borders and making sure that criminal, illegal... The NFL just set Bad Bunny to do the Super Bowl halftime show. This is the same Bad Bunny, by the way, who says that he does not want to do U.S. states on this current tour because of the ICE thing that's going on. Because we actually have a president in the United States that is enforcing our borders and making sure that criminal, illegal immigrants are booted out of this country. So Bad Bunny thinks that that's a bad thing, which is why he's not touring in the United States right now. So I'm not entirely sure what the Super Bowl was thinking with this choice. I don't know if they wanted to alienate half of the country. I don't know if they wanted to pick a primarily Latin artist whose music is in Spanish that most people do not even understand. I don't know if they wanted to pick somebody that was hyper liberal and hyper political, but I guarantee you that when he plays the Super Bowl halftime show, there'll be some sort of anti-ICE stuff, there'll be anti-Trump stuff, there'll be anti-illegal immigration enforcement stuff. It will be all the same woke leftism that this country has told you so many times before that we do not like, that we have absolutely positively rejected. So the Super Bowl wants to alienate half the audience. It wants to choose a hyper-political artist that does not appeal, by the way, to anybody that's not in the Spanish culture. Like, good luck with that.
I'd say that's a pretty fair prognostication on the part of Rob. I mean, Bad Bunny, I mean, that's a rabbit that died in your neighbor's backyard because they forgot to feed it. I mean, as a rapper, I can't say that he's all that intimidating. I mean, the name sounds less like a Grammy winner and more like an Easter egg your kid finds in August when it starts to smell. But you know, the commentary, all of this stuff, it's going to be ridiculous. I mean, can you picture Al Michaels trying to say this with a straight face? Ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've all been waiting for, Bad Bunny, live at the Super Bowl. I mean, nothing screams football like a cartoon rabbit gone feral. You know, let's be honest. I mean, this dude's wardrobe, and I can make fun of artists all day long because they set themselves up as an easy target. He looks like a recycling bin that had an identity crisis. I mean, half the time he's dressed like he mugged a Muppet. And the other time he looks like, an extra from a Pride Parade float that took a wrong turn into an anime convention. Now, listen, I don't mind creativity, but I want to watch football. And I know most people, they don't even care about the NFL anymore. But I don't really care about what happens when Lisa Frank meets the Hunger Games here. And that's what is always being paraded in front of us every single year. I mean, some people are going to love it. I got it. People are going to say, oh, if you don't like it, this universal music, then I don't even trust you. Listen, it sounds like Siri's having a seizure in Spanish, okay? You don't sing along to Bad Bunny. You file an IT ticket. Half of America is going to be Googling Bad Bunny lyrics in English, while the other half is going to be pressing the, SAP button on the remote, hoping for some clarity. And it's all auto-tuned so heavy that you can't tell if it's him or Alexa that, Anyway, Roger Goodell. Yeah, because you can't just blame this stuff on the artistry, if you want to call it that, of Bad Bunny. No, this is brought to you by the man, the myth, and the mayonnaise in human form, Roger Goodell, the commissioner of the NFL. He looks like an assistant manager at a bank who gives you a pamphlet on Roth IRAs you didn't ask for, doesn't he? I mean, he doesn't look like... This is the dude who's made an art form out of getting booed. I mean, he's worse than Jerry Jones. He gets booed at the draft at every single year. In every city. He's the only man alive who can get booed in Cleveland, New York, Dallas, and LA at the same time. That's talent. Now, he's going to fine players. Let's talk about the hypocrisy. Roger Goodell, he'll fine players thousands of dollars for celebrating too much, but then he turns around and celebrates himself for hiring a guy named after a stuffed animal to headline halftime. Now, if you ever notice that little smile that Goodell does that says, I just made $40 million this year while pretending to care about concussions. And here's where the roast really gets spicy on this deal. Is the NFL's dadgum obsession with identity politics. And it all lands on the shoulders of responsibility with this guy right here. I mean, they love the whole virtue signaling, end racism painted in the end zone. I mean, that's so brave. I mean, forget civil rights leaders. We solved racism with turf paint. I mean, you got people that marched in Rosa Parks and Roger Goodell who got Sherwin-Williams to sponsor equality. You got to put rainbow helmets on the logos and on the helmets, and players with slogans on the...
Time now for our Media Moves segment, the part of the show where we pause to look back at all the things making waves in the mainstream media. This week it was all about Puerto Rican rapper Bad Bunny, who will headline the Super Bowl halftime show. Bad Bunny, who has no songs completely in English, has been critical of the Trump administration's immigration crackdown and even refused to tour stateside, citing concerns over possible ICE raids at his concerts. After the NFL's announcement, Homeland Security Advisor Corey Lewandowski announced that ICE will be in Santa Clara, California for the Super Bowl.
There is nowhere that you can provide safe haven to people who are in this country illegally. Not the Super Bowl and nowhere else. We will find you, we will apprehend you, we will put you in a detention facility, and we will deport you. So know that that is a very real situation under this administration, which is completely contrary to how it used to be.
With me now, Caroline Downey, columnist for